Oh yeah.
Oh,
baby. Look at that. That's a miserable day, but great view. So we're upstairs. Oh, the building itself is still called. What's the name of the building? I forget now.
It will be. Name Colleen.
Okay, all right. And you're saying it's over 150 years old, or?
I think it's about 1870.
Wow, isn't that fantastic? Yeah. Now we should say hello to Clare. It's the first time I've spoken to you, Clare. How are you? This is beautiful. I mean, I know it's we'd say it's the guts of it and all that, but just to see what's been done, because I spoke to you before. This is the upstairs we're in right now. You're saying the office will be over to the right hand side.
An office in the corner.
Right.
And then the rest of it will be open space for either a function room or cafe. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now it's been December they started the work, and you're hopeful that April they'll wrap up that sort of side of it.
April is when the builders finish, and then we have a bit of extra work to do to
painting,
kitchen,
floorboards, and
flooring, painting. Yeah.
So fingers crossed, summer sometime. That's the hope anyway, if all goes well.
That's the plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fundraising, I know that there's a few, we'll let people know as time goes along what the fundraisers are, but we'll also put in the link for just directly to donate, which is great. There's the coffee mornings here as well. When it comes to the centre itself, I mean, I don't know if you've got a clear kind of idea of what sort of numbers you're expecting, because there's a huge kind of a need for these kind of, youth spaces in the town.
Yeah, definitely. There's already been a few comments on the Greystones about people thinking that, and if you talk to any of the young people in the town, or even if you look around, you see them sitting outside Super Value or Tesco, just anywhere to where they can be, and that's all they really want to do is kind of hang out. So.
Now, what would, in regard to, obviously it's a place to come and meet and sort of hang out, I don't know if there be certain ideas yet about what would be here in regard to, I don't know if it's a pool or whether it's generally just the fact that you have a space to do what you like to do. I don't know if that yet has become a plan.
I suppose we'll need to chat to the young people and see what they want.
Axe throwing, I hear they're really into axe throwing, so if we could maybe make a space for
take it into consideration.
Yeah.
We'll have a panel of young people that we'll chat to, and they'll advise as to what would be suitable.
So as I said, the numbers, I'm guessing that there'll just be a huge demand, which would be wonderful, because you want this kind of get together to be numbers where people just maybe meet new friends, and they can obviously hang out with their old friends, but it kind of cross pollinates then, because you become involved in an activity and you meet other people from other parts of the town. And I mean, is it something that you I don't know whether you feel automatically it'll just hit the ground running, or do you feel, well, we'll probably have to plan for at least 6 months of you just seeing what works and what doesn't work? Or?
I imagine it'll have to be based on who comes and when, because I'm sure there's times that we'll see some groups better than others, and we've kind of imagined a softer opening where we would kind of chat to people who are coming, see what suits them, see what they want, and then.
Now it is a gorgeous space. Would there be a sense of what sort of capacity we're dealing with, or what sort of, because it's 2 floors, it's a lovely big building, it's
well, it's not a huge building, so we will be constrained a bit by space. Like you say, putting a pool table in would take up a lot of space. So I would say on each floor you could probably sit somewhere between 30 and 40, depending on how comfy people like to be, and depending on what kind of furniture we put in, whether we put some chairs or sofas. And
people sit on the floor, so we'll have
there you go.
It might fit a lot more.
Now, obviously, the Coolnagreina has done great work over the years, and it would have an affiliation with a certain amount of, there's a religious belief here. Is that something that you feel will be part of it? I don't know whether there'll be those who think, well, it's not really for me because, I'm a Satanist, or I'm a Protestant, or whatever they might feel, that is this world for me. I don't know whether you've already kind of felt, well, you want to make sure that it's available to everybody, or whether you've got a strong feeling of this is plainly a place that you'd like to have a certain mentality about, or a certain identity, or...
Well, we would definitely like to feel that, or for people to feel that they could feel welcome here, that there was no sort of requirement at all to be here. It's meant to be an open space for the youth, and why we're doing it might be more to do with their own faith.
Yeah, we're driven by our own faith, but certainly Satanists and Protestants as well are both.
Good news. I'll let them know. Well, the same thing, really, when you think about it.
It's completely inclusive. Everybody will be welcome, and it will operate on an informal basis. That people will be welcome in the cafe. We do have an idea of delivering some programs at times, but again, those sort of things will be developed to meet meet young people's needs.
Well, that organic thing of just, we're finding out what they want and then figuring out how to give it to them, in the best way. I mean, would it be a 7 days a week thing? Would that be, again, decided upon how much you can, what sort of response you have and then also what sort of time you can give, because it would be, I'm sure, a popular spot just about every night.
Well, Claire, you're about to do a survey or a questionnaire. We're
going to try and get a bit of feedback and see when people would come, because there's extracurricular activities and then homework and things, so maybe a Wednesday. And we've no idea really what might work, but the aim, we're open for it because we don't really have any kind of constraints in terms of.
Okay. Well, we'll be kind of, there'll be as I said, the organic thing. It'll grow into what's the best fit for people, and the pattern of what people like to do will dictate.
School and things where we might change.
Have extra. Nice.
The centre's owned by a charity which is the YWCA, Women's Christian Association, and so there is an interest there in helping young women, so encouraging women in leadership and looking at issues which affect young women, so which affect have an impact on guys or guys' attitude to women as well. So those might be some of the subjects or the topics that we look at addressing.
Well, thankfully, we're more sensitive than ever to the various different kind of ways we've had in the past taken for granted a certain prejudice or a certain kind of role in society, and there seems to be a lot more kind of a want to sort of figure out is this the right way to treat people around you and I
don't know, we were looking at when we were developing the feasibility report at the research, and there was I don't know if you heard of the My World survey, but it surveyed 14,000 young people in Ireland. And 1 in 3 had reported feelings of depression and isolation, and another survey named a youth cafe as something that was a help for those kind of feelings, feeling connected and feeling that you belonged, and had somewhere to go was something that really helped. So I guess that's we want to kind of start there and then see what in terms of programs and things that put on.
Well, I think it's all down to social media. So maybe if you have a hammer at the door and just anytime somebody brings a phone in, you just crack it, and by the time they get it fixed, they'll feel a lot better about themselves. And
it might be a Wi-Fi freezer.
Well, that's the thing. I think there would be a need for the ability to just Wi-Fi. You can maybe have a computer connected by wire or whatever if you need to be part of the day's kind of entertainment or whatever. But the idea of no Wi-Fi, kind of a no phone zone, would be, I think, just I think before you know it, people would think differently and behave differently with each other.
Or it could appeal to one generation and not at all to another. So we might have to just.
You have a lot of 45-year-olds coming down to hang out in the youth club. Well, listen, it is a wonderful space, and it's going to be a huge plus to the town. I know that there are many other people also kind of looking to, dip similar things. There's hopefully going to be one in Charlesland, and given the population, it's kind of freaky that this used to be right beside what was Killian's Hall, and my generation, that would have been one of the main places to go to discos and fight clubs and anything else, and cockfights and all the stuff that you do in the 70s and the 80s. But no, it was great to have somewhere, even if it was just once a week, or it just meant there was a focal point like Christmas. It just felt this is good, we're going to meet up and all that. So well done, and we'll keep people informed as time goes on as to how each step comes in. Beautiful.